Actually, that was the part that we sort of played in the movie, that the communication from the multi-language script story. Um, I think it's funny in a way because nowadays we have all sort of language in our world. We sort of understand part of it and we don't understand part of it. But on the screen, we always have one kind of language. It's very funny. You see that if the Martian attacking the Earth, that everybody's speaking English, and no one speaking other languages. So this is some kind of, I think it's very funny in a way. So that's why we try to put all language on the screen, very close to reality. And if the language itself doesn't really communicate people, then it should be the way that the story move, so that the people understand that in real life actually language can be a barrier. So that barrier is the comedy element.
すいません、お城探してるんですけど、心当たりありますか
？Jessica，你日文好啲，你嚟招呼佢啦。
いらっしゃいませ。ご注文は？あ、いえ、注文じゃないんです。お城探してるんですけれども、あれお寿司、刺身、天ぷら、いや、お城です。お城。手羽焼き、あ、じょしゃぶしゃぶ。
David Wu has a very long experience in editing. He's been around with a lot of directors who cut films, comedy, film noir, action films. All along, I think he has contributed a lot with the director in the past in other films, which involved him as an actor or involved him as an editor. He was experienced at that moment when we decided to use him as a director of the Spy Game, because he was actually was shooting as a second unit for some of the film that we produced in that period of time. He always aimed to be a director, so to the moment when we decide to do the project Spy Game, actually I have a long time in my mind that I should give him a chance to be a director, and he did it, and it was a good director. That period of time, we sort of run running a workshop for a script writer. So we have a group of people, such as like 7 or 8. So we chose 2 out of the workshop and worked with 2 professional writers. So eventually we have 4 names as the script writers. The 2 of them were from the script writing workshop. When we came to this comedy, I also want them to involved in it, so let's learn or how to explore their comedian sense. So they start working with David Wu in the more project. Basically, what they contribute was the structure of the story, the characters, and the elements in the film. The other 2 professional writers who have been with comedy for years, they were responsible for writing the detail and the situation of the comedy drama in the film. Actually, I didn't visit the set at all. I just watched the film. I only watched the film when he finished and he showed to me in the edited form, and I would communicate with him about my feeling. And also sometimes when we, before we went on the shooting certain scene, David would talk to me about his his problem, such as like he was not very sure about the some part of the script, or maybe he felt like something is need to be done for some of the of the element of the story or something like that. Then we would have like we sit down, we talk about it. But basically, that's about the way I work with David. I remember because he was kind of worried that how I handle this project, but then I felt like I know that as a director, especially a comedy director, I don't know, maybe action director, you can be very irritated on the set, but as a comedy director, you cannot be getting very nervous and angry on the set. You have to be a person who manipulate everything, every element in the movie to make people laugh in the theater.
Inspector Wong.
Inspector Wong.
I think some director cannot work with the producer on a set because basically I'm a director myself. I'm very sensitive to another director on a set to watch me how to shoot and give me advice. That is something I never get used to. So I believe David Wu, also the kind of director very similar to my style, he would not feel very easy or comfortable when he had a producer director who came on a set and watch him or observe what he's doing. So basically, in Spy Game, I give David a lot of room to juggle with his creativity as well as his comedy sense. I always think that as a comedy director, you have to feel very entertaining inside thinking, his thinking as well as his feeling on the set. So I would, at that moment, I would give him a lot of room to have that kind of feeling in order to make a good comedy. When you look at Spy Game, I think we were trying something like not in a very exaggerated way, but it's funny.
何か爆弾
So what happened is that we try to be gentle and we try to be funny at the same time.
すいません。
你講咩話？
お願いします。もう一回だけ私の話聞いてください。私はお父さんを探しに香港へ来ました。私のお父さんはどこかのお城にいます。でも KGB のスパイに狙われています。
你唔好講字啦，我諗你咧都係換咗件衫先啊！我咧就去嗰度煮個麵俾你食啊！等一陣間柳 Sir 嚟到呢度帶你翻去繩之於法嘅時候，我嘅案情就可以水落石出啦。
Spy Game is more like a romantic, passionate love story, put on using the element of miscommunication or misconception of reality by like human nature. It was kind of ambitious in a way because we are trying to give another direction of the comedy in that way, because we thought that comedy can be so many variety. It doesn't have to be in one way, because in the market in Hong Kong, usually we have typical comedy that would become sort of like a classic that everybody try to imitate. But then, as a comedy fan for years, we were like David Wu was was supposed to be a comedian on the screen. He appeared in television as well as appear on the screen, and he also, understand that if everybody doing the same thing, it would be a very difficult time, as the comedy, the genre, move in this way. So we were ambitious in the way that to try to explore something different from existing, style and existing material. We watch, like Western comedy, Hollywood, European, Japanese, local comedies. Actually, we were fan of everybody. Actually, we love comedy the way that we enjoy comedy a lot. We talk and we laugh all the time. So, and if you really love comedy, you wouldn't like to imitate the thing you really love and like, because you think that those things you love always is unique in a way, and not to be repeated or imitated again on the screen. It becomes very sacrilege. If we talk about mentioning the list of preference in comedy genre, we can list a very long, list of names. Starting talking about Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, Woody Allen, Louis Dufiné, everybody. So actually, it's a long list. Comedy is something that we think that is quite different from other genres. Comedy have to relate to this humor as well as the life experience that the writer and all the directors share with the audience. Comedy is very different by itself. Comedy have to be funny, entertaining, and have to get the audience involved in the story and in the character. Especially when you see a very good comedy or a very good comedian, it is very memorable as well. You really respect these people because they're so rare. It's not easy to get one and find one that easy.